Hello, I'm Herbie Brennan and I'm the author of The Shadow Project, which is a book about a full-time student and a part-time burglar called Danny Lipman, who gets sucked into a secret government anti-terrorist operation that uses astral projection, or out-of-body experience if you like, to help catch the bad guys. So, what came first, Danny or his adventure? That's definitely Danny. I've never planned a book in my life. The way I work is that characters stroll into my head and insist I tell their story. And after that, I just walk around after them and write down what they do. It's sort of like channeling. Very often the character will give me the first sentence of the book, but in the case of the Shadow Project, it was a bit different. What I got there was more like a promotional strapline. Danny Lipman was a thief. One night he robbed the wrong house. That line haunted me until I finally gave in and sat down and started a bit of serious writing. People are beginning to ask me if there was any particular stories or characters or legends that helped shape the Shadow Project. Well, the big thing, of course, was an out-of-body experience I had when I was in my 20s. For about 15-20 minutes, I managed to climb out of my body and wander around like a ghost, walking through walls. It was absolutely fascinating. But there are loads of other things that influenced the Shadow Project as well. Ancient Egyptian mythology, for one thing. There's an Egyptian demon loose in that book, and a few fragments of genuine magical ceremonial. There's also the legend of the spear of Longinus, which pierced the side of Christ when he was dying on the cross. And that spear was believed by Hitler to be a powerful magical artifact. There's an alternative level of reality called the astral plane, which has been part of the Western esoteric tradition since the time of Paracelsus. There's even a legend from Africa which tells how the Dogon tribe from Mali were instructed on astronomy by an extraterrestrial in deep prehistory. One of the Shadow Project's central characters is a Dogon prince from Mali. But the main character, I suppose, is still Danny. And like most adventure stories, there comes a time when the main character has to face a problem from his past. In Danny's case, the problem is very simple and very common: lack of self-confidence. Danny's had a very rough, very poor, very underprivileged upbringing, and it left its mark. He covers it up well. He's pushy, smart-mouthed, a lot of courage, but it's still there, especially when he finds himself surrounded by people he thinks of as toughs. Deep down, he never feels he's good enough, and that's especially true when it comes to getting a decent education, even though he's probably the cleverest one of the team. Fortunately, he has his grandmother to set him right in that one, and the Shadow Project itself. In 10 years, he could well be running the whole show.